Tired of swiping but never connecting? You've tried dating apps, but somehow it's just not working the way you hoped. You don't need more apps. You need better tools. At Singles Seeking Soulmate, I help men become better partners, starting with themselves. Learn how to communicate clearly, set boundaries, build confidence, and actually understand what healthy women are looking for. And yes, you'll also have the opportunity to meet high-quality, emotionally available women ready for something real. You don't have to keep doing this alone. Dating School for Men, real skills, real women, real relationships, this is your moment. Join us and build the relationship life you actually want.
Morning. We're going to see if I'm going to have to put on my sunglasses out here. It's sunny, which is great. That's a good thing. But let me see if I'm going to have to put on my sunglasses because the sun is sunning. Okay. Leaving Starbucks. Heading into the office. And I want to jump on real quick and let y'all know when not to go to couples counseling. When will you not go to couples counseling? Okay? Because some of y'all need to know this. There is such a thing as not going to couples counseling. Thank you so much, Pure_Soul, for buying a badge. I appreciate you. Thank you. So I had a couple come in yesterday. Well, they didn't come in. It was over Zoom. Yesterday, having a consultation. And this is like the third time in my counseling career that this has happened. So this has happened for the third time. It don't happen often. It don't happen that often, y'all. But it happens. And my advice is always the same. I was actually surprised at how dead spot on I was with my advice. I literally said verbatim what I said the other two times when this happened. So they come in, they want a consultation, and look, they come on the Zoom and they in the midst of a fight. They are in the middle of a fight when they come on the Zoom. Okay. And so, you know, they barely want to speak to me because they in the midst of fighting about something. And come to find out, you know, he has told another lie. He has been deceptive again, right? And she feels a way and she's all upset about it. So I'm asking questions as I'm known to do. And I find out, y'all, they have been dating for 6 months. They've been dating for 6 months. I said, I'm sorry, excuse me? We've been dating for 6 months. And I asked the woman, okay, so tell me what's the problem? You know, well, he lies, he's deceptive, you know, he lies about little stuff, and, you know, he's not really trying to see me like that. He's really not planning any dates. He's not initiating, you know, and he doesn't seem like, you know, he's interested. Okay, what in the world? Like, what? So look, y'all, I said exactly what I said the other two times something like this happened. If you see, thank you, Garland Stillwell, for buying a badge. Thank you. If you see anything that you don't like, that does not align with your values, that is not how you want to be treated in a relationship, is not how you want to be treated by a significant other, by a romantic partner in the first 12 months. In the first 12 months, definitely in the first 6 months, definitely in the first 3 months. Okay? If no time has really passed, and I don't consider 12 months an investment. Y'all gonna feel a way about this, and I'm still gonna say it. you seeing a person for 12 months is not a true, real investment of your time, energy, effort, or that. No, it's not. Especially now. Especially now, because people can pretend for years. So if anything pop off in the first 12 months, in the first 6 months, 9 months, 3 months, that's called abort. Abort the mission. So look, I say to her, so has there ever been a honeymoon period? I said, I'm confused because you're in the honeymoon period. You're in the first 3 months of the relationship, 6 months of the relationship. If you're seeing things, and I mean, she's crying. She's obviously upset. And I'm like, okay, but this speaks to you all are not a good fit for each other. It ain't going to work out. You're not a good natural fit for one another. And so you go about your business. Because let me tell y'all what you're prone to do. And this is men and women. So I'm going to jump on everybody today. This is men and women. Y'all are prone to see things that don't line up, that don't add up, that don't align with your values and your morals, that is not even close to how you want to be treated in a relationship, and you will commit to it. Make that make sense. Why would I commit to what I don't want? And that's what couples therapy is. It is saying, I want this to move forward. I want this to work out. And look, I don't believe in make it work. I say that every day in my practice. I'm about to go in now and say it again. I do not believe in the phrase make it work. No, there is no make it work. There is time, energy, and effort. That's what relationships require, all of them, not just romantic relationships. And there must be a willingness to put time, energy, and effort. Outside of that, I go about my business. I don't make anybody do anything. And look, she don't realize it, but she dragging him into my office to change him. Oh, I'm really not doing that. Like I said, I lost all interest. I was like, nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. She done found a man out here in the street that don't know how to act, don't have good social skills, that is avoidant, in my opinion, by nature, just based on that 20-minute consult. There's some avoidance going on. There's something going on here. There's something, and look, I told her, there's something going on here that don't have nothing to do with you. That don't have nothing to do with you. You didn't cause it. You didn't start it. You know, you're not the cause of it at all. But you want to change him. You want to work it out. You want to make it work. That's the problem. But because of who I am and what I stand on, and it irks people that I am so radically honest with them. But somebody has to be. And look, y'all, that's how I find my clients. That is how I find my clients. Being radically honest. I don't lie to people. I tell them the truth. I'm like, baby, anything in the first 12 months is called abort. Okay? And look, I said that. I said, so tell me how you feel about lying. Well, it's unacceptable. It's not something I want in my relationship. Okay. So your value system should kick in and you should reject this. Someone is bringing you something you don't want. So your value system kicks in and it says, nope. And lying about dumb stuff, little stuff, that's a preview of what's to come, sweetheart. If we're lying about dumb stuff, that's a preview of how big the lies are going to get. Okay? How do you know that the person who wants to change the other isn't the one pretending? I don't know. I just know that the relationship is not viable. I don't know that. The relationship, it doesn't matter. The relationship isn't viable. Okay? And I'm certainly not going to participate, and I let them know this. Like I said, I'm radically honest. It shocks people when I turn down clients. That shocks people because they think it's all about money and, oh, we're paying, and it's all about money. No, it's not. It ain't about money to me. I want to be my authentic self. I want to show up in my business, in my practice that I own, that I started. And I want to be able to be myself. I want to be able to bring the message that I believe people need to hear today. And I'm not going to pretend for anybody. Not in my business. Not in my home. Not as long as I'm breathing. I don't want to participate in keeping together two people that clearly aren't compatible. I had a couple 2 weeks ago. Again, they decided to end their marriage right there in my office. And I gave them permission to do it. They are incompatible. They are completely incompatible. There are things about each of them that they want that the other person is not willing to do. Why can't we be honest with people? Why are we lying to people and trying to keep these relationships together? That all that's going, what they gonna do? So they gonna commit to each other, and a year from now they're back. Then they get married. Then a year from now, from then they're back. They're getting divorced. No, I actually want to be a divorce preventer. So I tell people the truth. Anything in the first 12 months of you dating this person, all of that is called vetting. You are vetting that person. You are assessing if anything comes up that doesn't align with your values, your morals, or the relationship that you want. I've said it 100 times. Figure out the relationship you want and then find someone that can have it with you. But you all don't want to use that formula. You want to find a person and squeeze them into the relationship you want, regardless of whether they want it or not, regardless of whether they're capable of it or not, regardless of their childhood wounds, their traumas, and all that stuff. You want to make them into Prince Charming or Princess Charming. That's not smart. Okay? Figure out the type of relationship you want. I want a relationship filled with honesty and trust. I want a relationship that feels good most of the time as opposed to feeling bad. Look at what I asked her. I said, how often does the relationship feel good versus feeling bad? Most of the time it feels bad. Y'all, this is at 6 months. You are 6 months into dating this person, and you tell me most of the time it feels bad. And y'all want me to lie to these people. You want me to work with these people and lie to them. I don't need money that bad. Okay? I'm not going to lie to them. Then that is a sign that it needs to end, that this isn't your person. And remember, we're talking about organic, natural fit. There are men out there that want what I want. Those are the men for me. Okay? I'm not going to twist any man's arm to marry me. I'm not going to twist any man's arm to do anything else I want to do. Praise the Lord and all the other things I like doing and like animals. There's men out there that want that. They want to praise the Lord. They got a dog. They want to go outside. They want to be fit and healthy. They want to be kind and empathetic. Okay? Why am I going to take the opposite of that and say, oh, why can't I make it work? Why can't we make it work? No, I am going to send him on to someone else. Hey, ladies, anybody out here want a man that hates dogs? Anybody out here want a man that like to sit on the couch and eat Doritos and drink Pepsi? Anybody out here that want a man that don't believe in God? Like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to advertise and find him his match because he ain't my match. You're not my match. Okay? So I'm honest with people, radically so. And I think it shocks people at first because it's so rare. It shocks people how honest I am. Like, nah, this is not a good fit. That's what it's trying to tell you. Why are you trying to commit to foolishness? That's what you're saying. You're coming into my office and I want to make it work and he needs to change and blah, blah, blah. No, baby, you just need to find a man that doesn't lie, okay, that wants you, that initiates, contact and he even admitted, well, I procrastinate and I wait to the last minute to decide to do something, or I wait to the last minute, we're both very busy and, I just don't know what my schedule is, baby. You don't want a woman, okay? You don't want to see a woman. You don't want to, come on, stop it. Stop it. You're going to do what you want to do. Because I've seen it happen too many times. I've been on earth too long to take these ridiculous excuses of I'm busy, my work, and baby, you don't want a woman like that, or you don't want her like that. Like, can we be honest? What you talking about? You wait till the last minute, and then when you realize, oh, I ain't got nothing to do on Friday. All right, you want to hang out? No. And I told her, like, okay, it's not even you. It's something going on within him. But you want to sign up for it. You want to sign up for this program. Not Anita. Anita will be over here, having her caramel macchiato in peace. Okay? Not Anita. Anita will be having her caramel macchiato in peace. Okay? Before I sign up or commit to a man's nonsense. I love a good man. I love a great man. I love a consistent man. I love a man whose word actually means something, right? I love men and all the things that they bring, but I'm not going to sign up for the things that she's saying this guy's bringing. But what she's saying is, hey, I'm trying to bring him to therapy and bring him to you and you fix him. No. So look what I said. This is how the whole thing ended. And she cried the whole way through. I was like, baby, ain't nobody tell you the truth. But I'm going to tell you the truth in here today. So look, this is how it ended. I said, here's my suggestion. I said, and you can take it or not. You're not hurting my feelings by, not taking my suggestion. I said, however, I will not work with the two of you. That's not something I would do. I'm going to encourage that you both get individual therapy, that both of you find individual therapists and you do some work on yourself. And as you're becoming the best version of yourself, perhaps you become more compatible with each other. I said, but baby, one is a whole number. Okay, we have got to improve the relationship with ourselves. We have to love and adore and accept ourselves, right? We have to become the best version of ourselves. And then we go out into the world, and if we choose to be partnered, if we choose to be matched up, we find a person who is a natural fit for us. Okay, I have a lot of things about me. A lot of those things are amazing. They're wonderful. And a lot of those things are challenging. Like, I know this about me. I have radically accepted myself. Okay. I'm going to tell the brutal, honest truth. I'm going to speak on things when other people stay quiet. Like, some people love that. Some people don't. Okay. Some people are like, here we go. Anita going to say something. Like, I know this. You're not telling me anything new about myself. Okay. And yet that's who I am. All right. I am introverted, even though people don't believe that when I'm not here talking to y'all, I don't say a lot of words. I'm quiet. When I'm not in session, I don't say a lot of words. I tend to be quiet. I tend to come into new environments. I observe people. I'm quiet, right? I'm not the life of the party, but I'm going to be me. I need a natural fit for me. Okay. And I think everybody, that is what's actually going to make being in the relationship easiest. Now, are relationships easy? No, not all the time, because it's two totally different people coming together and trying to become one. But make it easier. Okay. We can all make relationships easier by choosing someone who is a natural fit for us. Okay. So I'm not going to go clean against my values. I'm not going to go clean against my morals or the things that are most important to me. I don't care how sexy he is. I don't care how tall he is. I don't care how good his teeth look. All the things I love about men. If he goes against my values, my morals, and the type of relationship that I want, I'm not going to choose him, because that is pushing a square peg into a round hole. I'm done with that. I am done with that. I've given that up for 25 years. I will not squeeze square pegs into round holes anymore. Okay? I don't even have the energy. So just understand, I want to prevent divorce. But guess what has to happen sometimes to do that? Couples need to find their natural match. The person that they're with is not a good fit for them. And let me say this. I did not demonize either one of them. I think that needs to happen more, where we stop placing blame. We stop pointing fingers. We stop making one person or the other bad or wrong. Neither one of them is bad or wrong. They're just not good for each other. Okay? And guess what? Homeboy can find a woman who will tolerate his line. Okay? He will, that's the God's honest truth, y'all. There's a woman out there that's like, well, sometimes you gotta lie, and that's the woman for him. But this particular woman said, no to lying. That goes against my values and my morals, right? I don't want to be in a relationship with dishonesty. But there's some people out there, y'all, that they are all right with a little white lie or a little black lie or a sprinkling of lies. They're okay with it. And there are women out there that they'll do all the initiating. They'll do all the planning. They'll make sure they see the man. He need one of them. But this one, it's not a natural fit. And look, she said that they've been going back and forth since the day they started dating. If that ain't a clear sign that this person is not your person, again, that's like a man who hates animals trying to date me. That's why I'm very transparent. I would never put that in if I had a dating profile, I wouldn't put it in my dating profile, but I probably would say, yeah, I'm a big lover of animals. I've got 3 cats. I've got 2 dogs. I love animals. So if he despises animals, why would he continue to date me? Why would he continue to try to engage with me? That don't make no sense. Y'all do stuff that don't make no sense. And it's like common sense is in rare form today. And then this is what a lot of people say. Well, it's so horrible out here, Anita. It's so horrible. It's so bad out here. And, I'd be afraid to cut people off. I'd be afraid to get out of relationships that don't work. I'd be afraid to, leave people alone. That's called scarcity mindset, sweetheart. That's called scarcity mindset. And guess what? As long as you believe that to be true, it will be true for you. It will be true for you. I don't have that mindset. I always tell people, if I want to activate, my dating again, if I want to get out there and truly activate my dating, really? If I really want to go, you know what? I feel like dating. I feel like meeting some men. And I just activate that part of me, baby. Okay? That will become a new part-time job. All right? In my world, there are always options. So I don't understand this whole, I'm willing to stay in something that don't fit me, that don't feel good, that don't work, I don't understand that. So now you speaking a language that I just don't understand. I just don't understand that because I have an abundance mindset. I'm making money hand over fist all day, every day. And look, that's why I can turn clients down. I turn clients down every day, all day, because I'm like, nope. Don't work with people who have domestic violence in their relationship. Nope. Don't work with people who are 3 months, 6 months, 9 months into their relationship and having all these problems. No. What else? Alcoholism, drug addiction. Nope. It's a whole lot of folks that I'm like, nope. Not taking individual clients right now. Nope. Baby, that's all I'm saying. That's a spiritual energy thing. Okay? There is a particular type of client I like to work with. Okay? And that's what I'm interested in. And when people come in my door and they are not that, no thank you. No thank you. You're about to make my job harder than it needs to be. Okay? And I'm not, no. And my job's already hard. So let me go back. I see a lot of comments. Y'all talking about something. What is happening? Okay. Ooh, yeah, y'all talking about something. Okay. She wants what she wants and is love blind to the red flags. Yeah. It's sad. Yeah. But you know what? She gonna hear some harsh truth from me. Like I said, she gonna hear some harsh truth. Uh, how do you know that the person who wants to change the other? Okay, I don't know. Like I said, I just know they don't need to be together. I don't believe in people being fooled by other people pretending. People want what they want and they see their other through a magical avatar that does not exist, and boohoo when reality slaps them. You know, I am of that belief also, Garland. You know, sometimes I irritate people because I'll say they and it's men and women. I've had men and women do this. A good friend of mine did this about his marriage. Oh, everything was perfect for the first 7 years and then it went off the rails. I disagree. I disagree. I believe that there were signs. I believe that things popped up and showed up. But remember, once you kiss a person on the lips, once you tongue kiss them, once you have sex with them, you can no longer vet that person. You can no longer see with clear eyes who that person is. And so we love telling ourselves that. And guess what? When we tell ourselves that, we don't grow. When we don't grow. When we don't admit that there were things there that we overlooked, we don't grow. And so those people get into relationship after relationship after relationship. Those relationships fail. Those marriages fail. And we keep singing the same song. They switched up. They switched up. They switched up on me. No, they did not. Okay. No, they did not. They gave you signs and signals, no matter how subtle, that, hey, this is who I am, this is what my character is, but because you kissed them on the mouth, because you swapped spit with them, and because you had sex with them, you could no longer see it. You could no longer vet that person. That is one of the beauties of being abstinent. Oh, it's a blessing and a curse. Can I be honest? Being abstinent is a blessing and a curse, because that is what will keep your eyes wide open. Like you can really see a person. Divorce prevention. Don't sign up for a fairy tale. Exactly. Exactly. What is the basis that must be there in order to go forward with therapy? Is there an inventory to ask questions about? What is the formula? Honesty, trust, fit, and healthy. It's basically the level of investment that the couple has in the relationship. And in my humble opinion, it's more than a year. If you're in a relationship and have been in that relationship more than a year, if you're married, if you have children, I'm going to do everything I can to help you. But these people are not married, don't have children, and have not been in a relationship for more than a year. So in my mind, they are still in what we call the vetting process. And if the relationship goes sideways in the vetting process, voila, that's your answer. Like, why would you commit to this dysfunctional relationship? And couples therapy is a commitment. Okay, that part at Daryl Low Wilson, therapy should give you tools to stress test your relationship with brutal honesty. That's how people grow. Agreed. Agreed. She said, I know that's right. Match is important. Yep. With someone, 8 years, same circle. But if you can't be to therapy, if you can't go to therapy, the tools should still be available to move on personally. Maybe individual therapy is the right move. Probably could have led with that. Well, here is what came out of the session. She agreed to do individual therapy with me. So there you go. Because that is what I suggested, that they don't need couples therapy. They both need to assess who they are and the things that are probably making it difficult for them to find and keep the right person. That's what they need to be working on. But they're not each other's person. Now, they probably been kissing and having sex and all the things, but okay, and it's still going to end up the same. You can move forward with this person, but it's not going to work out. Amen. What about the women? You don't say a lot of words, but you be batting your eyelashes like Anita Baker when you start hearing foolishness. I know. I'll just be like, here we go. Here we go. And the best way to choose a natural fit is to come into the relationship emotionally healthy and spiritually mature. Yep. Values and morals. Yep. That's it. Right? So the best way to choose a natural fit is that you know yourself. You're emotionally mature. You are honest with yourself. People lie to themselves. See, that's why I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't do lies to others, and I don't lie to myself. I am radically honest with myself. When I see something, I'm like, Anita, you know what it is. Come on now. But what if no? But what if you don't? No. You see what it is. You know what it is. Inform, hear much about that. Is there a podcast or reference for the promotion of individual therapy? I know many people have been divorced. What are they supposed to do? They're supposed to work on themselves. They are supposed to go into individual therapy and process all of the emotions and all of the things that happened in their marriage. The number one thing they need to ask themselves is, how did I contribute to the marriage ending? That's the number one thing people do not stop and assess and think about and process. What did I do that caused the end of this marriage? Okay? And if you chose wrong, or if you had behaviors or whatever it was, now you're going to work on that. Values and morals, that term is likely the first time a couple hears it when they get to therapy. Yep. Nothing good can be built on a lie. Nope. That's me. Red flag. Do you believe people don't really do their due diligence when dating, or people can change over time? They don't do their due diligence. That's 90% of it. 10% is the rare sociopath, psychopath, narcissistic, Machiavellian. That's 10%, and it might be even less. Most people are just not that good. They're not that smooth. They're not that good at hiding. They're really not. And that's why whenever men tell me, oh, Anita, you tell us how to vet women and blah, blah, you don't know these women, baby, it's you. Okay. You see, this is the lying to yourself. It's easy. It's easy to tell if a woman is into you. It's easy to tell the character of a woman, especially now. Especially now. It has never been easier than to determine a woman's character. Y'all just don't want to do it. Can I be real? Y'all are lazy. You're lazy. You're not emotionally attuned. You're not observant. That's what's happening. You too busy looking at her fat behind that you can't really see that she don't treat her kids that great. She don't reciprocate with you. Like, you too busy looking down her shirt and looking at her fat behind. So, no. Values, moral, spirituality, do those things ever change? Are they reliable observations? I believe so. I believe our values are pretty finite. Most people don't even know what their values are. So those people, yeah, it probably does change because they don't even know what their values are. Am wasting time. Okay, don't collect red flags. Hold on, Vega. Try it over and over again. Okay, gambling. I think we need a men's group to discuss the mindset, and there are plenty of them. I can lead you to plenty of men's groups. I know plenty of online men's groups. This isn't normal. She actually does have some good advice. Gold is a good one. Okay. Or golf. Okay. Vega, let's meet up for a round of golf. Okay. I believe the fear comes from mostly women. Social media, red pill content makes women feel when they get a certain age, they are no good, especially when women aren't really getting approached. Like I said, y'all need to work on y'all's confidence and self-esteem. I don't feel that way. I'm 57 years old. Some people would say I'm not only, hit the wall, I've obliterated the wall, and that's all cost. So what? Y'all need to work on yourself. You need to work on your audacity, right? If nothing else, men always tell me the audacity. Yep. That's right. That's how I get what I want. You need to work on your audacity. You need to work on asking for what you want. You need to open your mouth more. Okay? You need to take care of yourself. You need to look good. You need to work on your personality. You need to be an interesting person. Like, when you have that combination of things, you're not worried. You're not worried. You're not worried. And then y'all need to stop listening to these stupid guys and this stupid content. Why are y'all drawn to that type of content that only drags you down and beats you down and tells you how horrible you are, how old you are, how this, how that, how whatever? Baby, just stop it. Y'all need to stop it. Okay? She said she couldn't spend the time she wanted to with me. I think she is afraid of attachment. Could be. You could have a more avoidant person on your hands. And if that's the case, stop trying to figure them out. I keep telling y'all like puzzles. I hate puzzles. I hate puzzles. Okay. My daughter loves puzzles. She will buy these 2,000, 5,000 piece puzzles and plop it on the counter, the bar in my kitchen and start putting it together. I hate puzzles. Okay. I don't want to do that. I don't think it's relaxing. I don't think it's fun. And that's, to some extent, that's how I feel about people. If you don't come correct, if you're not authentic, if you're not genuine, if you're not open, I'm not going to put you together. I'm not going to sit here and pull stuff out of you to put you together. That's just, I'm sorry, no. At Vega, Black Tino, we should organize a men's golf tournament and have Anita the keynote at lunch. Okay. Perfect, Garland. Let's do it. All right, y'all connect with each other. I hope Anita agrees. Anita, playing golf in North Virginia area during Father's Day Saturday. Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Okay, he put his email. There we go. Okay. There you go. I love it. I love making these connections. But I'm just telling y'all, yeah, I ain't, you can't tell me nothing. And like I said, they do. They be like, the audacity. I'm like, Look, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to make a video this weekend because I've been jotting down notes of videos I want to make. One of the videos I want to make is for Black women. That Black women, in my opinion, you all have lost your boldness. You've lost your audacity. You've lost your self-esteem. Because let me tell y'all, Black women, and maybe it's my generation, but it might be. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I think it's my generation. But Black women, they were the most audacious, bold, like you couldn't tell them nothing. You can, and look, that's why some big women today, they got men. It's some big women today that have a husband. They have a man. Because they like, baby, this ain't got, what they got to do with nothing. What they call it, more cushion for the pushing. Like they were some of the most high self-esteem, bold, audacious women you would ever meet. So I don't know what happened to us. And it ain't me, it's y'all. And I want y'all to take a page out of Russian women's book. I want you to take a page out of Slavic women's book and Latinas, like, and white women and Asian, and some other races of women. I'm going to make the video about the lessons that we can learn from women of other races and other ethnicities. Y'all need to start taking a page out of their book because Black women have lost their self. They've lost their joie de vivre. They've lost their thank you, Garland, for buying another badge. They've lost their self-esteem. I don't know when it happened. But, my generation, you can't tell us nothing. Like, you can't tell us nothing. Okay? We swap out men like underwear. Like, okay, today's Tuesday, I need a new man. Okay? You can't tell us nothing. So this scarcity mindset of, I found this guy and I kind of sort of like him, but he lies and he doesn't plan dates. He doesn't make time to see me and I got to put up with it. No, I don't. No, I do not. No, I do not. No, I don't. Okay, so you lost me on that one. I am never that desperate. I am never, I gotta put up with it. I gotta deal with it. No, I don't. No, I don't. And then remember, the option you always have that many of you ladies don't ever consider is you don't have to be with anybody. That's my superpower. So Anita's superpower is I can be on my own and be just fine. Okay? He said how to buy a badge. Good connect for golf. That's a good question. There is a button below where you can purchase a badge. And I don't see it on my side, but it's on your side. So when you're looking at that comment bar, there's buttons down there where you can buy a badge. He said big women make songs like It's Raining Men. Skinny women make songs about men cheating and leaving. Exactly. 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 So y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up and have a abundance mindset. And look, even I can say, remember, two things can be true at the same time. I can acknowledge that it is, that's the balloon signal, y'all. Sorry. I can acknowledge that it is difficult, right? I'm not going to gaslight y'all. It is difficult right now. And the quality of people has gone down. So men and women, trust me, men are having the same struggles. The quality of people has gone down. However, I still believe that you do not have to stay in a dead end, unhappy dating situation. I'm not talking about marriages. I'm talking about somebody you just met 3 months ago. No, you are still in the vetting process. And you cut that person loose if they are showing signs or if the relationship is just intolerable. Cut that person loose and try again. Okay? I had a good girlfriend who was in a relationship for 2 years. And in my mind, she was, in something committed. And the relationship started going left. There started to be some signs of jealousy. Thank you, Daryl Wilson Sr. Okay. Hopefully I said that right. Thank you for buying a badge. But yeah, she was like, as much as I hate going back out here, this relationship is becoming non-viable. It's becoming controlling. It's becoming, very jealous and all of that. And I was like, yeah, you might have to do it. Because again, I just don't, and if she's tried to talk it through and to work it out okay, what else can we do? And remember, y'all keep forgetting, you don't have to be with anybody. You do know you can leave a relationship and just be on your own. You know that, right? Like that's a possibility, right? So that's what people just, for some reason, they don't even consider that. Oh my God, I can't leave this relationship. What will I do? You will be with you, fool. You should be with your best friend. You should be with the best person you know. What are you talking about? What are you going to do? You're going to be with yourself. So, y'all, I'm sorry. This is far below my line of thinking. That's why I'm not getting it. I've outpaced this level of scarcity mindset. I've outpaced this level of, I got to be with somebody because that's what, makes me valuable. That's what makes me attractive, is the fact that somebody want me. Baby, I'm attractive. Okay. I don't need thousands of men in my DMs. I don't need thousands of men on my phone. I don't need that kind of validation. I don't need that kind of attention. I know who I am. I know what I bring. So work on yourself and stop being so scary. Oh, and what I'm going to do if I can't find nobody? You're going to be by yourself. And for some of y'all, that is the worst thing in the world because you're boring. You're dry. Okay. You're uninteresting. You're not about nothing. You don't have no purpose. You don't have no reason for being here. So maybe I can see why you scared. Because you being on your own, like, you need to work on yourself. I love me. Like I said, I be in there having a great old time. Like, I love some me. I love my company. I love some me. So I don't understand it. The silence as folks contemplate who will pay their bills if they alone. Lord. The problem is everybody is chasing after people that don't want them. We keep giving out to all the wrong people. Yeah. Nope, not me. Like I said, I quickly assess. Okay, how does this person feel about me? How do I feel about them? Right? And let's see how they show up. Right? And let's just see. And I be the best version of me. And then, if I don't get that back from them, I'm like, well, unfortunately, we're not a good fit. I don't make that person bad. I don't make them wrong. I don't blame them. I just send them on down the road. We are not a good fit for one another. And sometimes they will ask, well, why? Why? Because this is the type of relationship I want to have. And that is not what's happening. I don't want to pull things out of you. you're not a very talkative person. You're not a very open person. If that person is dishonest, if that person is kind of shady or sneaky, yeah, that's not the type of relationship I want to have. I can't thrive in that environment. I cannot be the best version of me dating a liar and a cheater. No, I don't want that. Or someone who just acts disinterested. Like, I'm not going to show up as my best self. That's it. That's it. But y'all have to be grown and mature to say that. And a lot of you are not. A lot of you are not emotionally mature to say, yeah, I want something real. I want something genuine. I want to be able to have hard conversations. I want to be trusting. I want to be able to trust you. That's the thing. Ooh, so later today, I'm going to make my Shannon Sharp opinion video. And it ain't even going to be that long. Can we be honest? But I am going to bring some clinical stuff into it because I think there's something clinical going on. I think there's something clinical at play. But anyway, I'm going to bring my thoughts and opinions to that. But one of the things that really, to me, is kind of dangerous about 2025 is trust and being trustworthy. Like, I want y'all to understand that is so important. And it's like, who do you trust? Right? People are, in my opinion, very dangerous out here. The fact that they have a phone, the fact that they can record your phone conversations, the fact that they can take pictures of you, videotape of you, like, that's weird and it's scary. It's scary. I've had clients tell me, oh, I dated this guy. He took pictures of me naked when I was sleeping. That's scary. That's downright scary. And to think that you all are not vetting these people. You all are not vetting for this type of behavior. That is downright scary. So here's what I'm going to say. Y'all be safe out here, because your text messages screenshotted, your phone calls recorded, people taking pictures of you when you're laying there asleep after sex. Like, it's downright scary out here. Really think about that. And this is men and women. Like, a woman can do it to a man can do it to a woman. But it's kind of scary out here, y'all. It's getting scary. And if I'm really being honest, that's what really keeps me in the state I'm in when it comes to dating, is I must feel safe with a man. And if I get any inkling that he is not safe, if he is not emotionally safe, mentally, physically, spiritually, but all the ways safe, I bow out, because it is so dangerous out here. People are weaponizing everything. Everything is weaponized. So you got to be really careful, really careful. You have to do your due diligence now more than ever. I've always encouraged vetting, but now you need to use every resource available to you if you're going to get into a relationship. It would take me months now to get into a relationship, where it would once take me 2 months, about 2 months for me to commit it. Like, how about this? 2 to 3 months to exclusively date someone, right? And then I might consider commitment 4, 5, 6 months. Now, y'all, it's taking a long time, because I can't take those kind of chances. I'm older. I've built a business, several businesses. I have things to lose. And look, I ain't even no Shannon Sharp, That's why I'm like, fool. Like, what? But I'm going to make a separate video. I ain't going there now. I'm make a separate video. It's something going on there. Because I ain't even Shannon Sharp, and I'm careful about mine. At my age, I can't have nobody ruin everything I got. I can't have nobody rip my business out from under me and rip my home and everything. I can't have that. Because think about it. I don't have that kind of time to get back to this place again. It took 57 years to get here. So what I look like doing something that's literally going to destroy my entire kingdom, and I got to rebuild. I ain't got that kind of time. So if I'm a little, I tell people this too. If I'm a little, almost jaded, like, hey, charge it to my head and not my heart. Because I cannot, be caught up in no mess. I cannot lose what has taken me this long to build. So, but that trust, man, it's weird out here, y'all. It's weird. Okay, she said also, it's not everybody's fault. If you keep attracting the same men, women, you might need to reflect on yourself. There are still good men, women out here. It is. It is. But see, people aren't honest with themselves. They love blaming other people. And y'all know that's the first sign of an emotionally immature person is people who blame. People who blame and shift the blame. That's the first sign. I don't think it's called emotionally mature. Some people don't have the family and personal background to understand that perspective. Trust is a good one. But here's the thing you need to know about emotional maturity. You can get it at any time, at any age, regardless of whatever you've been through, regardless of whatever your family been, regardless. Emotional maturity is something that you can obtain. It's not a you either have it or you don't. You can have it. You have to actively work toward emotional maturity. But that is the number one thing. I tell people, that's the number one thing a person must have for me to be in a relationship with them now. I will not touch a person who is not emotionally mature. I'm good. Folks need comprehensive blood work and mental family. I can't read that last part because somebody's other comment is over it. But yeah, it's a lot, y'all. It's just not safe out here. And to me, some people are really obviously not safe. So that's why, like I said, it's hilarious that people get into these situations. I'm like, dude, look at her. Like, look at her. And you expected a level of loyalty and safety. And come on now, stop it. Okay. So, all right. You can email me and get 30 days free of Skool. I'd love for you to join us there. That is where we do our work. That is where you will learn how to do your individual work. You will also learn the relationship skills and the tools you're going to need to be in a healthy relationship. It is, in my opinion, what is required if you're going to be out here and you're going to be dating and you're actually serious. You're actually looking for someone to have a serious, real relationship with. You have to work on yourself. You have to have good, healthy relationship skills. You have to grow up. You have to be emotionally mature. And Skool is the place where you're going to do that. You're going to do it amongst other people, in relationship with other people, in relationship with me. That's where that work is going to happen. So if you email me at info@betterlovemovement.com, I will send out an email invite. You click it, you go in, set up your username and password, and voila, you are in Skool. You can catch up. We are 10 weeks in, going into week 11. You can watch all the videos up until then, and you can catch up with us and look at all the resources and download everything. But we are taking this work week by week by week. That's what we're doing. Every Monday night at 7:30, we meet on Zoom live. Okay? And I'd love to see you there. We're going to Costa Rica in December. So if you're interested in that, there is information in the description box below. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, like it, share it with anyone you think could benefit from it. And I will see you all in the next video. I'm going to discuss this Shannon Sharp situation. And that will probably be a members only video. This might be a members only video because, like I said, y'all. But consider becoming a member of the YouTube channel. That is how you're going to have access to all of the content that I have over there. And it's like $3.99 a month. It's nothing. But consider becoming a member. That is how you're going to get all of my content. And you're going to get a lot of other great perks too. So think about that as well. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of your day. Daryl, it's info@betterlovemovement.com. I can't type it in because I'm actually about to end this live. But info@betterlovemovement.com. You just say, hey, I want to join Skool. And then I'm going to send you that email. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you to everyone who purchased a badge. I appreciate you all so much. It means the world to me when you support the platform. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, stay open to love.